Hi again. Thank you for the feedback on my first video about raising awareness about autism. Um, this is Ty. He's a beautiful tired dog. Mwah. Okay. Still on the subject of board games, my brothers used to cheat and hide the Monopoly money, or just make up the rules as they went along, which used to drive me crazy. Personally, I like quiz show games where the rules are simple and there's no chance of cheating. Pictionary is okay because it allows me to be creative. I don't have the same feelings towards Monopoly or poker or the game of life. There's too much going on, too much to think about, and it's boring waiting for my turn if there are more than two people playing. Busy board games with no fairness or no point is no fun. I don't like games where the rules are simply who can pull the wool over each other's eyes and who can earn the most money by being greedy. It makes no sense to me at all. I've been told it's only a game, lighten up. I believe in fairness, honesty and openness and trust. I can be competitive in games which tick these boxes. One of the best board games I've ever played was with two wonderful friends, and the game was called An Herb Garden. It was an American game, spelt An Herb Garden, but the British way is, it would be like this, a herb garden. My friend read out the rules slowly, and we all agreed that we knew what we were doing beforehand. The aim of the game was to try and fill the garden up with plants, herbs, trees and flowers and birds. It was a cooperative game where the players would help each other get to the end to make a big blueberry pie to share. Now, how lovely is that? You know, who wouldn't want to play a game like that, especially as a child? Check out the Amazon review, An Herb Garden. It's described as one of the most charming games in existence. Oh, excuse me. It disheartens me to live in a world where humans are afraid to ask for help and are withering away like dying flowers. But narcissism is encouraged and becoming more and more normalized. This is scary. For instance, have you ever walked through a city and witnessed people being rude to each other, shouting at each other, swearing at each other and spitting on the ground? Have you observed other people totally ignoring this behaviour? People getting on with their day like it's the usual sight. Yet, if I was to self-soothe while walking through town, stim, self-regulate without medication, express these intense emotions in very healthy ways, I'd be stared at and I'd instantly feel self-conscious. I've stimmed in queues of shops to soothe myself and I've had people reacting in very negative ways. It is frightening, and this is why I don't bother socialising in unsafe places. Anywhere where there are crowds of people or too much noise, busyness, traffic could potentially be a dangerous place for autistic people. In my experience of being totally myself, I have managed to annoy people who react like I'm doing it on purpose, especially to piss them off. But I'm not. You know, I've been so overloaded, sensory overload, that I've actually walked in front of cars by accident. I've walked in front of my friend's motorbike and she nearly ran me over. So it's dangerous to be in those circumstances, you know. Right, hang on, where am I? Things like breathing deeply or sighing loudly manages to trigger reactions in people, especially in queues of shops. I could just go like that in a queue, and then somebody would turn around and think that I was doing it on purpose, because I'm being impatient, and I no, but it's not that. I'm just trying to get my anxiety I'm just trying to self-soothe so I can make it bearable, you know, and get my shopping and go. Nothing wrong with that. I now stand with my feet apart and my hands on my hips like this, so that my pointy elbows act like a barrier to stop people invading my personal space. Hello. Oh, he's so lovely. Anyway, it's harder to concentrate on this video when I've got this beautiful, cute dog lying next to me. He's just so lush. Mwah. Right, hang a banger. Right, for the same reasons, I do not like watching bands where there's no space on the dance floor to dance. I like to move freely. Excuse my rant. Let's get back on track. Where were we? Yes, board games. I recall playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with my parents and my girlfriend one Christmas many moons ago, and I was adamant I had said the right answer, to which my parents and girlfriend laughed out loud. Although my logical mind knew it was the correct answer, I had to leave the room because they were laughing at me. I went outside to smoke a rollie. I did not like the way it made me feel, constantly doubting myself, even though deep down I knew it was the right answer. Because I remember the storybook my mother used to read to me as a child, and the question was, who killed Cock Robin? And the answer is, I said the sparrow with my bow and arrow. Why is that so damn funny? Oh well, I'm over it now. It's a very petty example, but one that stands out in my mind. I just wanted to explain how I used to constantly doubt myself and how easy it is for me to be derailed by other people. The slightest thing could derail me. And people have told me, like maybe ex-bosses, that I lack confidence. But how could I possibly lack confidence when I can sing in front of an audience of people? It was a challenge which had its rewards for sure, and the excitement after a gig led me to drink alcohol in order to bring my adrenaline down. I would allow myself to be consumed by the energy of the room until I drank over my limit and blacked out. One minute I'm okay, chatting and having a laugh, and the next minute I'm waking up in a strange house, not knowing where I am, whose house I'm in, how I got there. Those days are long gone. I've got to keep myself safe. So if I need to drink alcohol to bring down my adrenaline, then what is the point in getting too excited? I need calmness. I do not need to bungee jump in order to get high. I am happy sitting on a rock watching the waves upon the shore. That feels calming and resonates more with who I am. My favourite board game is Scrabble because I know the rules. I love words and everyone is busy concentrating on trying to make a word for their next go rather than staring at me impatiently while I try and create a word. It is a relaxing game and stimulates my brain rather than confuses it. When I was a child, my brother told me that I could make a word going diagonally down the board, scooping up every single double word, triple letter, double word score along the way, letting me win. There was no reason why I shouldn't believe him. I was too young to read the rules for myself, so I trusted that I was shown the correct way. Why would my brother lie about the rules of Scrabble? It was a few years before I realised that I was actually cheating by making words going diagonally down the board. I realise now that my brother was being kind by allowing me to win, but it pissed me off nonetheless. I would rather play fairly and lose the game rather than win by cheating, because what is the point in that? Same with anything. I would rather be slapped across the face with the truth than kissed with a lie. I like this analogy a lot because I understand it. All I care about is truth. I don't care how much it hurts. I can deal with hurt if it is the truth, because that is easier to accept. Yes, it is easier to accept, because if you're constantly thinking of you know, why would that person lie? Or where's that person coming from? What's this person's intent? Then that's an unneeded loop, unneeded waste of energy, waste of time when I could be doing something much more constructive with my time. So if somebody's honest, you can accept it, let it go, get on with it. I've learned to hide my true nature all my life. I've learned to hide my true nature all my life, and there's nothing more hurtful than that. Wearing the mask when you go into places where you feel you need to put the smiley face on, you know, and then behind closed doors, I'm falling apart. Because of the energy it takes to put on that happy mask when actually you're using up a lot of brain work trying to concentrate on what one person is saying, trying to block out all the sounds, you know. It takes up a lot of energy. I would rather know exactly how people feel and where I stand than to be made a fool of by being lied to. They say it is to protect me. What a crock. It takes some time to know someone and to build trust. Why are autistic people so difficult to understand by neurotypical people? By some, I guess. Because neurotypical people have been reading limited information about us and believing what they read without actually listening to autistic voices. It seems that some neurotypical people have already judged us based on limited knowledge, like they know what autism is more than we do. And that is what can cause autistic people to withdraw from society more and more. To be constantly misunderstood and have boundaries disrespected is one of the leading factors of depression among people with autism. And that is why autistic people self-harm or even worse, commit suicide. It's a very, very high rate of suicide amongst autistic people, and that is because of the lack of understanding. So this is why it's so important to raise awareness, and this is why I felt a strong urge to do these videos, regardless of how tired I am, regardless of my hair and makeup and all that crap. You know, I've got something to say and it needs to be said. So there it is, video number 2. I hope you like it. And I'll do some more writing in the week and some reflecting and see what else I can come up with. So any feedback, positive or negative, if there's anything in the content of the video that you don't understand or what the point I was trying to make, and if there's anything you want me to elaborate on, feel free to write it in the comments below. Okay, thank you. Good night.